Good evening, America. Here is Ronja Sakata from Joy is My Compass speaking from the future. I always love to imagine the planet and the time zones, and it's 4 a.m. here in Zurich. And you are in the evening, it depends on which time zone you are in America. I just checked which time is it in Australia. It's morning there. They are even further ahead in the future. I just love this connected feeling of our planet, of all these time zones. At the same time, we are experiencing so many different things, and that's what I want to talk about focusing on the good things. And it might seem that you think like, yeah, you can do that, but it's just putting your hand in the sand, and you don't focus, or you don't you want to look away from the bad stuff. And that's what I want to invite you to think about, focusing on the good stuff, like as a tool, as a mindset tool, that you can have a better life because you do that. Not that you look away from all the causes which are important to you and which are dear to your heart and just difficult at the moment in your life. It's not looking away from them, but it's focusing on the good. And I always imagine it like you have a little what is that, watering can, where you water the flowers or the plants or the weeds in your garden. You just have this amount of water, this amount of energy, of thought energy in your day, and you can choose. And please choose wisely. That's my suggestion, or my my advice to you. Choose wisely where you put this water, where you want to have these plants to grow, the flowers or the weeds. And again, it's just the weeds are maybe here. You can try to pull them out, or you can do something with them, something different, but the water is really going where you want and focus on. I was talking with my dear guest Heather Robinson in my episode, in my podcast. Let's Create Joy podcast this week is about this topic. She was a lot of a worst scenario imagining person, like if you imagine the worst case, you can't be disappointed of life or what happens afterwards. And she slowly transformed her life into the mindset of expecting the best and not the worst. And I was thinking like, wow, my parents already told me, or my sister, to focus on what's possible and how to make things possible and to expect the best always, because you never know how it turns out. And when I was studying food engineering, and we had to do an internship wherever on the whole planet. We could decide, we could do the internship in Switzerland too, but I wanted to go to Japan. Japan was my dream country since I'm a child. And I knew that internships in Japan, that's not even a thing. That's just so difficult to get a place where you can do your internship, where you can make all these things we were obliged to do from university. And then my father was like, oh no, let's contact all my contacts I have in Japan. He was a hydraulic research guy, and the contacts in Japan were all hydraulic research guys too, so not food engineering or um, food science people. But who knows? So we wrote emails to all of them, and the funny thing was that the guy who organized everything for me, Professor Nakajima, I love you forever, and thank you so much for making this happen. He and my dad, they met for 20 minutes in Zurich one time, and he really was into international how do you say that? that Japan opens up and connects internationally. And he thought, wow, that's a good idea. I have a former student, he didn't tell me that, but he was like, yeah, we can do that. What kind of products do you like? I was like, oh wow, I could even choose, like tell what kind of products I'm interested in. So it was, or still is, I love chewing gum, I love candy, I love ice cream. Then all these instant noodles, um, instant drink things, all these artificial products. I don't eat them often or like really rarely, but I love like the colors and the technology behind all these products. And he was like, okay, I'll check what I can do for you. And then he organized me an internship at Cannibal Foods. They're not Cannibal anymore. That was 19 years ago, 2001. And he organized me this internship and the most beautiful, loving, fun host family for my homestay. And Cannibal Foods produced ice cream, chewing gum, candy, soft and hard candy, chocolate, and instant noodles and instant drinks. I was like, how cool is that? Ask and you are given. The law of attraction is in the making here. And yeah, it was kind of, again, a proof that even though Japan is not about internships and this is going to be hard and all the things from other people saying about this topic, just don't care and do it anyway. And look what's happening. And if the doors are opening up, it's meant to be. That's my whole philosophy of life. Like, you have an idea, you think it's not possible, you push this thought away, and then you go and focus on maybe everything will work out just perfect and expect the best. So I know this sounds maybe dreamy, but it gets even more dreamier. I met my husband underneath the cherry blossom trees, and we got married 2 years later, and he lives in Switzerland now for 17 years, nearly 18, and it's just been a blast. Really, we were meant to get together, and we met because of this internship. My daughter, our daughter Mika, is always wondering, like, if Daddy and you wouldn't have met beneath these trees, would I exist? And I thought, yeah, well, look, little girl, I think we would have found another way to meet each other. But yeah, who knows? It was perfectly orchestrated this way, and I love that this is my story. But of course, I could have focused on everything what could go wrong, and I just believe that, you know, the watering, the possibilities, that if you focus on what could go wrong and what is bad and this and that and this and that, all these worries, they distract you from going where you want and focusing on what's good. So if you still think, yeah, that's the big life stuff and you were lucky, and don't tell me that was something you did or because of your thinking, I love to practice this focus on the good thing always in the little things, in the everyday life too. I think it's so powerful to focus in your day or after your day that you think like, what was cool today? What was cool? What was nice? What was wonderful? Who did I meet? What am I grateful for? That's a little exercise after a day. And if you just find that you are alive, your heart is beating, and you are here, if that's the only thing you think is a good thing, that's a big thing. You are here. You are uniquely one of a kind of a person, and you have your own magic. Please believe me if you don't believe it yourself. And you have to offer something for this world. And you are here. And I'm grateful for you that you are here. I hope you are too. And I hope that you find so many little things in your day where you're like, wow, yeah, that's true. This is good, and that was nice, and that was amazing. So let's focus on the good things. And I want to introduce you to a very simple, all the tools I love, all the tools in my Joy Academy, in my Joy Mastermind. They're simple, but you have to use them and play with them, and then you have all the benefit of them. And I show it to you. My camera has to focus. I call it Joyometer, and it's a weekly Joyometer. You could do that daily, but journaling daily, that's kind of advanced technique. If you didn't journal forever or not even once, that would be such an easy exercise to do. I will post the link to the download below the video if you watch this on YouTube or on Facebook or on my blog. Somewhere there is a link to download the Joyometer. And I want to tell you about my week, my last week. And I want to inspire you and invite you that you do this journaling exercise every week. Maybe on Sunday I will send you, if you sign up for my newsletter, I will send you this Joyometer every Sunday so you can fill it out and write a date on your Joyometer, and then you can look back on these weeks and you're like, wow, I'm creating my life. And that's really what you are doing here. You are creating every day is like a painting in your gallery or a page in your book, and it just sums up, and from days to days to days they become weeks, and they become months, and then years, and that's your life. It's focusing on the good things in one day is summing up to an amazing day where you can look back afterwards and think, wow, okay, let's do more, let's expect more, let's expect the best. So I set the arrow on gratitude. I think gratitude is such a nice feeling and such a powerful feeling, and you can benefit from feeling grateful a lot. When you focus on feeling grateful, you can't be angry, you can't be in fear. Gratitude is such a big feeling, it fills out your whole body, and you can dive into gratitude on purpose so that you can benefit from these effects of gratitude. So I like my arrow there, and I'm grateful for that I can work again after 5 long weeks of summer vacation. I know in the US you would love to send your kids to a safe school. We in Switzerland, we have this whole situation. I don't know if we have it like if we managed it really well, but children are back in school. I'm so grateful for that. You know, Switzerland is so tiny. I have to find like that I can compare it to somewhere in the US. I think it's not even as big as New York City. That's now my take, like, spontaneously. Switzerland is so tiny, so it's such an easy task to create a safe space in Switzerland with all this virus thing, and America is just huge. I just get the difference. So I hope you forgive me that I'm so happy that my kid is back in school, and after 5 weeks I'm finally able to work again. I need my space, I need my time, and I'm so happy about that. So that's what I'm grateful for. We had a gorgeous summer vacation, but even though I'm super happy to be back to work. Something great which happened this week. I saw many shooting stars when I was in our mountain cabin last week. The last night I was just on a bed, you know, this chair. You can go backwards, and it was a soft chair, and I was just looking into the sky, and there were so many, so really the big one, like, and I was so happy about that. What I'm currently reading, I can recommend this book so badly to you. It's so good. and it's called The Courage to be Disliked. I love this title, The Courage to be Disliked, and it's written by two Japanese guys, Ichiro Kijimi and Fumitake Koga. And I thought, as it's translated already, I listened to it in German because my Japanese is fluent but not as good as I could understand a complicated book like this. So listen to it in English or read it in English, and it's so good. It's an old philosopher guy and a student who goes there and just challenges him with all these beliefs, and it's about the psychology of Adler. Adler was a psychologist when Sigmund Freud was working, and he wasn't famous at all back then. But now he gets famous because his philosophy and his psychology is so suitable for our time now. Just listen to this book or read this book. It's so good, and it's about taking responsibility for your life. It's about taking responsibility for your thoughts, and I love that it's such an old thing now put in a framework of this book, and we can learn about it. It's not a current new age, some kind of whatever author. It's like, wow, he was so advanced back then, like 1930. I didn't check the year when he was working in Vienna, I guess. And Adler means eagle in English, so I like to call him Mr. Eagle in English. The Courage to be Disliked. I will post a link into the blog, to the show notes on YouTube too, so you can just check it out, and I hope you will like it too. Who inspired me with what? If you think about that, about your week, that's so powerful, like, oh, who did inspire me? And if nobody inspired you, you maybe can plan about something inspiring next week. And this can be just watching a YouTube TED Talk or another inspiring video. You don't have to meet inspiring people to be inspired by somebody. I was inspired by my father, who is 80 years old, and we were at the cabin, and he was wood chopping and carrying water. I did a lot of this work when I was there, and he was hiking. He's just enjoying life so much. He's getting older, but who cares? And just enjoying every day. And as we should, even we are much younger, or like not thinking of 80 years old now. Enjoy every day. I know how fast. I will tell you this story in the next episode. Life can be over so quickly. We don't need a virus for that. We don't need an accident for that. We just can go and fade away. I can tell you that. So I'm really, really happy to focus on enjoying life, and my father is a pro in that for sure. What did I do for me last week? I really want to encourage you that you do things for yourself, that you take care of yourself, because if you are full of energy, if you are taking care of yourself, you can provide energy and time and money for causes you care for and which are not good in this world, like focusing on the good. There's so many cruel and really, really bad things happening on this planet. But if we focus on them only, it's just like our energy goes down and we're just desperate or depressive. It's so depressive to look at all these things. So focus on the good, focus on yourself, focus on taking care of yourself, and then you can choose which topic is dear to my heart, which cause is dear to my heart, and then go all in there, but in an uplifting mood and with full of energy, and then you can really change something. So I did finally I get up at 4:44 again for me, for doing my morning magic. I am a morning person, but 4:44 is crazy early, but I get to have time for myself. I get to meditate, to do yoga. I don't do it afterwards later in the day. I'm not like, yeah, it's just better for me to do it in the morning. And I'm so glad that I did that for me again, to like commit to getting up early for having my morning magic in the morning. So what did you do for yourself last week? And thinking about that, and if you didn't do anything for yourself, you can say, okay, next week I will, I don't know. It's only like drinking a tea on your porch and watching people go by, or the sunset, or wherever you live. Create something beautiful for yourself, and it can be a tiny thing, and you will feel the difference. Like, I did drink my tea on my porch and I watched the sunset, or whatever you like to do. It can be something small, or of course you can go to a massage, or a spa day, or whatever you love, but it can be a little tiny thing, and you will feel the difference. I did that for myself. Then the second last question here on the Choyometer is a word of wisdom, a trick, something, because I want to invite you that you fill this up and fill this out and post it on Instagram in the stories. Tag me with @joyismycompass and @Ronja Sakata, and I will repost it. And this can be so inspiring to read your Choyometer and read my Choyometer, and then we inspire each other to read different books and to listen to your word of wisdom or your little trick. So my very basic but absolutely important trick is take good care of yourself. You are the most important person in your life, and you taking care of yourself, that has a big impact on your life. So that's my word of wisdom for this week. And I'm working on these goals. I like to, like, if you revisit your goals weekly, that is so important. I suggest that you do that daily, but maybe you're like, yeah, daily, what are you, kind of a dreamer girl? But like being aware of what am I working at right now in my life, weekly, that's more than if you don't think about goals at all. So my goals at the moment are recording new awesome podcast episodes. Just check out my talk with Heather Robinson, it's so good. And promoting my wonderful Joy Academy. I love this program, and it's just now blossoming, and I imagine and have my vision, I focus on my vision that it will be an international beautiful community full of joy, inspiration, also support for if it's hard in your life or if things are not going good, to support each other and lift each other up and just grow together. Because mindset is everything, you know, how you think is defining how your life is going. So that's what you learn in the Joy Academy. And I want to get all my systems ready for my business. And I wrote a joy book in English for you, and I'm working on the cover design. So that's my Choyometer. I will post it on Instagram too. And if you are up to make a screenshot of the blank page and write your answers in, and then we get inspired by your Choyometer. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time for yourself to think about these things for you. It's not about me, it's about you. You are managing your thoughts, you are managing your life, and you are creating your life. So create a good day for you today, create a good day for you tomorrow, and all these good days, or sometimes bad days, that's not like, that's okay, but focusing on the good things, even in a bad day, can lift you up, and you're like, okay, okay, and tomorrow I will do this and that differently, and be aware where you put your water. Which part of your garden are you watering? So I hope that was inspiring to you. Please tell me what you think in the comments below, on the blog, on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you're watching this. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you that you are here. Take good care of yourself, and we see us maybe in my free joy group. You can be a part of that. I will post that link too, and listen to the podcast. See you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye.